So, multi-step equations. The first question we're going to ask ourselves every time we do one of these problems. Are there parentheses? And remember, parentheses are these. If the answer is yes, we distribute. If the answer is yes, we distribute. If the answer is no, we go to number 2. We skip it, right? We ask ourselves, are there parentheses? If there are parentheses, yes, we have to distribute. If the answer is no, we skip it and go to number 2. Then number 2, do we need to combine like terms? So step number 1, question number 1, we ask ourselves, are there parentheses? Yes, we distribute. If no, we skip it and go to number 2. Number 2 is, are there like terms? If the answer is yes, we add or subtract. We combine them, right? Combining is when we put them together. Add or subtract. If the answer is no, we go to number 3. Then number 3 is we look for the constant. And how did you know which one's the constant?
Because it's by itself.
It's by itself. It's lonely.
Like me.
It's all alone. It's by itself. If there's a constant, yes, there's a constant. How do you get rid of a constant?
You don't make it lonely.
You don't make it lonely. You have to combine it, right, with something, but it's on the other side. So how do you get rid of that constant? You have to move it, right? The opposite. You do the inverse, which is either add or subtract, right? If the answer is no, go to number 4.
Wow.
What about no, go to number 6?
So we start out, our first question, are there parentheses? Yes, we distribute. No, move on. Then we ask ourselves, do we need to combine like terms? If the answer is yes, we add or subtract them, we combine them, we put them together. If the answer is no, we go to number 3. Then we ask ourselves, is there a constant? How do you know which number is a constant? It's lonely. It has nothing with it. If the answer is yes, there's a constant, we do the inverse, which is add or subtract. If the answer is no, there is no constant, we go to number 4. Number 4 is there a coefficient? Is there a coefficient? If the answer is yes, we do the inverse. But what's the inverse of a coefficient? Multiplication and division. If the answer's no, check it. Because you'll have an answer.
Check it.
And what if it's not? Then what?
So we are going to go through all this stuff. We're going to go through these steps and we're going to practice. Ladies and gentlemen, what you should have is a calculator. There is no reason to miss a problem because You refused to use a calculator. All right, here we go. I have the steps written right next to it. We're going to walk through. Here they are in order. Number 1 is distribute. 2 is like terms. 3 is constant. 4 is coefficient. Yes? Here we go. Number 1. Ooh, before I even start, I'm going to draw that line.
Oh my goodness.
Keep myself organized.
Great idea.
I don't want to do this again. I failed it.
Question number 1. Do we need to distribute? How do you know if you need to distribute? Parentheses. Are there parentheses in this problem?
No.
Why are you screaming?
She told us to.
Number 2. Are there like terms?
No. Yeah.
Yes, there are things with exactly the same variable. Do you see them?
C.
2x plus 5x. What's 2x plus 5x?
7.
So let's rewrite the problem. Next question. Is there a constant? Is there a lonely number up there?
Yeah.
Yes. That -3 is my lonely number. Here's my variable. Here's my lonely number. So I need to use inverse operations. What's the opposite of -3?
Plus 3.
7x equals, what's -3 plus 3? 0. Is there a coefficient?
Yes.
Yes. How do you get rid of that coefficient?
Divide.
Divide, because this means multiply, the inverse, right? Divide by 7, divide by 7. What's 0 divided by 7?
0.
X equals 0. So that's my answer. Let's check it. This was the downfall for some of us on our quiz. You didn't check your answers, and if you check it and it's wrong, you know that you need to fix it or try again. If you're not checking it, especially on a test, you're going to be hurting yourself. Because if it's wrong, you should try to go back and see if you made a mistake. Here we go. 2x minus 3 plus 5. So instead of x, what value am I putting in?
0.
0. 2x, 2 times 0, minus 3, plus 5, and instead of x, I put 0. And what should my answer equal?
-3.
It should equal -3. That's my solution to my original problem. Did it work?
Yeah.
So I know my solution, my answer of x equals 0 is correct. Let's do the next one. Again, it's walking us through the problems. Before I start, I'll draw my line. Question number 1, do I need to distribute? How do you know if you need to distribute? Are there parentheses? Yes. So I'm going to take that 6 and multiply it inside. Because there are parentheses. I always do my parentheses first. That's my rule. So, -114 equals, what's 6 times r?
6R.
6r. What's 6 times -7? -42.
Good job.
And then I have this plus 6r that I just add on to the end. So first step, do I need to distribute? The answer is either yes or no. I know that I distribute because there are parentheses. Now I need to ask, are there like terms? Do things have exactly the same variable? Yes. 6R and plus 6R. Those are going to get combined. Perfect. So I'm going to put negative 114, because that didn't change, equals 12R. 6R plus 6R is 12R minus 42. Is there a constant? Is there a lonely number? Yep. Negative 42 is my lonely number. Because I want the lonely number on the same side as the variable.
So you divide it. But for like terms, negative 114 and negative 42 have the same variable.
They are, but they're on opposite sides of that equal sign, right? That's why it's important to draw that line so that I work one side and then the other side.
Would you divide it?
Not divide. Look at step number 3. If there's a constant, what's our yes answer?
Oh.
Adding or subtracting. So what's the opposite of minus 42?
Plus 40.
Plus 42. You should be using a calculator, please.
That's crazy.
Negative 114. Negative 114 plus 42. What do you get? Negative 72 equals 12R. Is there a coefficient? Yes.
We do that.
12R. 12 is my coefficient. 12R means 12 times.
That's a lot of yes.
So the division is my inverse. And negative 72 divided by 12 is negative 6. But I don't know if it's right or wrong. So we're going to check our answer. So you're going to get your calculator. The answer to my original problem was negative 114. Right? So that's my answer that I want. So I'm going to go over here to the problem, and I'm going to type in 6, parentheses, and instead of R, what number should I put? Negative 6, minus 7, close parentheses, plus 6, and instead of R, what number am I putting? Negative 6. Alex, will you go sit in that seat next to Carla? Right over there at that table. Did it work? Is my answer correct? All right, let's go to page 15. I want you to try walking through these 3 problems